Hi everyone, Baldree here again. Today I'm going to do a quick review of Legends Lattes. In this case, I specifically read the Wraithmarked Kickstarter edition. And I will attempt to do a little bit different. Obviously, I never do anything scripted. Maybe someday I'll be smart enough to do that. But I'm going to try to break this down into two separate things. The story itself, and then the actual edition. As far as the story goes, this is only the second time I've read a cozy fantasy. The other being Cursed Cocktails, which is by S.L. Rowland, which I also did through a Kickstarter. And as I was doing the Kickstarter for Cursed Cocktails, there were a lot of comparisons to Legends Lattes. Now, having read both, I can definitely see where those comparisons are coming from. And I don't know if the similarities are going to be common tropes or if it's just because S.L. Rowland took some inspiration from Travis Baldree here. But there are definitely some things these two have in common as far as, yes, it's the adventurer or warrior, however you want to word it, who goes into retirement and opens a shop. In the case of Legends Lattes, that ends up being a coffee shop, because essentially our main character discovers coffee, and it's an unknown thing at this time. In the other one, it is a bar. You still get some of the same story beats as far as you're going to retire, open your shop. Nobody in this new town knows you because you retired far from where you're normally at. Granted, in the case of Viv, our main character in Legends Lattes, she's essentially a mercenary. Or pretty much every RPG character you ever played in a tabletop RPG or in a video game, where you just kind of do whatever quests are on the quest board. But in this case, Viv retires, sets up her coffee shop, and of course, the biggest stakes are whether or not the coffee shop is going to stay open. The spoiler-free, because I'm not going to get into specific details like the other one, or I should say the other one like this. Different people essentially come into our main character's life and help make the business successful. And the one specific event, which is maybe high stakes for our main character, but low stakes in general. No saving the world, no saving reality, none of that stuff. No defeating the big evil. It's a location-specific issue where there's some sort of resolution, groups coming in, and of course, new friendships and relationships being forged. Cozy fantasy does seem to be a nice little palate cleanser between some of these more major fantasies like Tolkien or Sanderson or whatever you may or may not be reading. I did enjoy Legends Lattes. It is a fun, quick, easy read. I am curious to see if the similarities between this and Cursed Cocktails ends up being common tropes, as I am getting another cozy fantasy book here sometime in the next few months called The Bartender Between Worlds. I definitely think I will look into more cozy fantasy books. I do have Wraithmark's sequel, or rather, the Wraithmarked Edition sequel book for Legends Lattes, which is Bookshops and Bone Dust. So when that comes in, I'll be able to read that. So I have S.L. Rowland's sequel to his Cursed Cocktails, his Tales of Adara series, and that's Sword and Thistle. So we'll see how those come out. As far as the edition itself, I've only actually seen but not read the standard paperback and digital edition for Legends Lattes. And I know Tor has their own edition coming out. Personally, comparing the two just based on photos, I like the look of this better. I love the nice dust jacket, the gold gilded pages, or sprayed edges, and Wraithmarked did something here. You can kind of see the artwork on here, and of course there's on the back as well. Now this is a cloth wrap rather than a paper wrap, and it's my understanding that with their, and by their, Wraithmark's War of the Worlds that they've been sending out, they tried this as well, and despite being assured that art like this is going to look great on the cloth, the War of the Worlds ones was super faint. You could see that this, while it does not look bad, it doesn't look as good as, say, art on solid pages. So, other than this, and potentially Bookshops and Bone Dust, they're not going to be doing the art on the cloth like that anymore. The art inside the book, much clearer. Obviously, there's a few color for like your end pages. Most of the artwork is essentially just black and white on page. It looks nice. My only negative, and it's very minor, is the formatting choice, or more specifically the font choicing. And that's just because compared to most books, the font size is about double the size. And instead of small line spacing, it's about 1.5 times the normal size. So I really feel like as I'm reading through this, just a random page there, you can kind of see the font size and spacing. There were times that kind of felt like I was reading a kid's book, not based on the story, just based on the font size and spacing. And again, most people may not care. That's just a personal opinion. Take it or leave it as you will. But as far as the design, I do love the look of this, especially when I see what Tor is doing for their deluxe edition. All in all, having little to compare Cozy Fantasy to, I'd give this a 4-star. And as far as the edition, yeah, I'd give that a 4 and a 4.5 star maybe. So, if you enjoy this, feel free to give me a like. If not, well, thank you for watching anyways. You guys have a great day.